comes up in you tonight, I just invite you to be so kind to yourself, to practice right from the beginning, letting yourself be loved right here where you are, because exactly in that place is where Jesus wants to meet you. That's exactly where he wants you to find him, already there, resting in that broken spot, in that tender spot that perhaps doesn't get as much care and attention. An encounter with Christ, joy, transformation. I mean, this is what sainthood always calls for, but it is certainly needed in the apostolic age. Saints are not people who do things for God. Saints are people who've had an encounter with God and been transformed by him. Saints are people in love with God and convinced of God's love for them.
Apostolic age, we need to live our lives fully alive and invite the glory of God into our story. I miss my baby every day. But loving and losing John Paul Raphael cracked me open so completely that I could finally receive the goodness the Lord had been offering me.
Like, we have to say the words at some point, and maybe it starts with, Lord, give me the grace to want to forgive this person. You know, we got to start with where we're at. Bring Jesus into where you are. And that's where the enemy gets in, right, ladies? You think, well, I'm not holy enough yet, so I'm not going to invite Jesus in. No. Jesus wants to be with you, and in fact, he's already there, right where you are now. So if it's, I cannot even imagine a time I could ever forgive this monster, okay, bring Jesus right there. But slowly, incrementally. So it's having the courage to say the prayer, to say the words, and also to give yourself the grace that it is a journey.
We can remind ourselves that we are seen and known and loved. And we know that is true from Scripture, but we might not always feel that way. It may not always ring true in our lives. But how would it feel to surrender to the truth that God knows your hours and your moments, and that he wants to bless your hours and your moments? And are there moments that perhaps we have not allowed God to bless? Deep desire to restore your identity as the beloved daughter, because everything flows from knowing you're the beloved, and letting the lover of your soul be the only one to tell you who you really are.